when you see some of the things that are being said, not just about my culture, but about women. And I'm telling you, I've had my fair share of songs that would make some of you lift an eyebrow, but it was in the spirit of dancing. It was in the spirit of having fun. And I've had 60 and 70-year-old women come up to me and tell me, I like that Drop It Like It's Hot. There's some other people out there and we know where they're coming from too. And I'm praying that women come together and save this nation. But we're at a place in time where people say things, and you'll see women supporting that. It ain't just men on that trail following that guy. It's women out there too, blinded. You think about the other side and where that's going. So we have to make a decision. Are we going to let this other situation take over and remind us of what great used to be? Are we going to do that? Or are we going to redefine great?
Donald Trump's plans to transform America into his fascist playground is on the radar of many more people than he expected. He gets further exposed on this watch list.
Did you know that it is now a crime to be homeless? Pay attention. It's not a secret. Look it up. They are attacking our most vulnerable citizens. The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up.
It's been hiding in plain sight for over a year. But now that Donald Trump feels he's captured the highest court in the country, his allies like Kevin Roberts have been promoting their fascist plans without blinking. And people are now paying attention.
The reason that they are apoplectic right now, the reason that so many anchors on MSNBC, for example, are losing their minds daily is because our side is winning. And so I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Project 2025 is a MAGA world manifesto and a vision of implementing a startlingly authoritarian form of the U.S. government. It's 900 pages long. You could Google it right now and read it. It is chock full of wildly unpopular policy proposals. You got everything from using a 19th century obscenity law to shut down all medication abortion and also maybe the mailing of all birth control, to outright outlawing pornography and throwing people in prison over it, to weaponizing the Department of Justice to be used explicitly as a kind of tool of vengeance for Donald Trump.
Yeah, all those culture war agenda items the Republicans have been using for decades to divide Americans on while they pillage the wallets of the American people to benefit the wealthy and corporations is being planned to use as the basis for a conservative Christian monarchy that has nothing to do with Christianity.
I think as well. I think this video has made me rethink the 19th Amendment, but let's keep it going. No actual American girl that grew up in a, traditional, normal American family wants a guy that goes to the Women's March. I don't even care if they're liberal. You bring up the elephant in the room, which is a stain on not only society, but the entire dating culture, which is pornography.
Yeah.
And I think whenever America bans that, which will be happening at some point, everyone will be much better off. I know, people are like, what, you've never seen that? Heroin addicts know heroin's bad, So people, just because they've used it at some point, it's still addressing that fact. I think, guys have this way distorted view of the world and how that should work. And the minute that goes away, this country will flourish. I actually do believe that.
Right. You nip that one in the bud.
That was Johnny McAtee, who worked in Trump's administration talking about eliminating women's voting rights, as well as implementing a ban on porn, since they can't stop watching it. So the question about Project 2025 has reached Trump himself, and his answer was surprisingly full of more bullshit than anyone could have expected.
Trump does not want people to know about the entire vanguard of extremist weirdos around him and what their little plans are for when he governs. With the Project 2025 plans lying in plain sight, they are panicking in a comically preposterous and fraudulent way. Donald Trump posting today, I like this, he knows nothing about Project 2025 and has no idea who is behind it. Well, you could go to the website, it's got them all listed there. Here's the thing, the group behind it all is the Heritage Foundation. You see that their logo and the scrim behind him? We all know Trump spoke to them while he was president. And Paul Dans, a former senior aide in the Trump administration, is the director of Project 2025. Ken Cuccinelli, the Cooch, Trump's former acting deputy Homeland Security Secretary, who aggressively pushed anti-immigrant policies, wrote a chapter in the manifesto. John McEntee, Trump's one-time White House personnel director, a guy very close to him, around him all the time, is a senior advisor. He's been doing some vetting of a personnel database to see who they're going to staff the government with. So if Trump has no idea who is behind it, he is far too senile to be allowed to continue his campaign. Either that or he's lying.
I think it's pretty obvious that it's option number 2. And if people refuse to believe those damn libs, Mike Pence's former advisor had some more obvious facts about the band of authoritarians that he's denying he's working with.
I mean, look, this is preposterous. If you look at the collaborators and the authors of this plan, a lot of these people came from directly people that served in Trump's cabinet during his administration. There are people that I worked with, I sat in policy meetings with. A lot of these people were senior administration officials, whether it be Johnny McEntee was in charge of staffing for presidential personnel, or whether it be Stephen Miller, who's behind the scenes pulling the strings on this as well. But you've got Ben Carson listed in here. You have the former deputy secretary of DHS, the acting secretary, Ken Cuccinelli, in here writing about immigration in DHS. I mean, and then Ben Carson, come on, he's been out there on the campaign trail with the president. So I think this is just ludicrous. But I think what this is telling us is that Donald Trump knows that what is written in this plan is so extreme that it is damaging to his possibility of getting elected. And that's what he's concerned about. We need to be paying attention to this, and no amount of distancing by Donald Trump should be believed, because the authors and the collaborators are all part of this operation that's been behind him from even the first terms of this administration. So how can they deny that? I sat in these policy-making meetings with these people.
Let's look at the rest of the post Trump put out about how little he knows about this plan. I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I disagree with some of the things that they're saying, and some of the things that they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck. But I have nothing to do with them. When's the last time you heard Donald Trump wish someone good luck for a political agenda that he's against and knows nothing about? Did he wish luck to the bipartisan border bill written by Republican James Lankford that he aggressively told House Republicans to axe? How about all the luck that he wished to advocates that have been fighting to restore reproductive rights after his Supreme Court nixed Roe versus Wade? As usual, he's a terrible liar. Former RNC Chair Michael Steele read my mind while breaking down even more of Trump's transparent lies about the knowledge of this plan. Okay, let's all play with stupid for a minute. So exactly how do you disagree with something you know nothing about or have no idea who is behind saying or doing the thing you disagree with? Since Project 2025 is designed to institutionalize Trumpism and you know nothing about it, then why do you echo some of its policy priorities during your rallies? Coincidence? And how exactly don't you know that Project 2025 Director Paul Dans served as your chief of staff at the Office of Personnel and Management, and Associate Director Spencer Creighton served as your special assistant and Associate Director of Presidential Personnel? One more glaring example. Donald Trump claimed he has no idea who's behind it. Maybe he should ask this guy that looks a lot like Donald Trump, speaking at the Heritage Foundation about how much he relies on them to help him strategize and implement his policies.
Your organization is named the Heritage Foundation because you understand that our glorious heritage is the foundation of everything we hope to achieve, which is why we need the help of the Heritage Foundation and everyone here tonight to get our tax cuts through the House, through the Senate.
He said, you understand that our glorious heritage is the foundation of everything that we hope to achieve, which is why we need the help of the Heritage Foundation to get our tax cuts through the House and the Senate. And in case you didn't know, Trump got his tax cuts that benefited the wealthy and corporations while hurting regular Americans that scream MAGA at his rallies through the House and the Senate. But now he has no idea who they are. Here's another Christian nationalist, white supremacist, whose events Donald Trump regularly speaks at, talking about that heritage that they hope to restore to America.
Get them out of my country. Send them home. This transcends race. This transcends income. I want my country back. I don't want America to become Honduras. Adios. I want my culture back.